Hello and welcome to the next lecture. Today we're going to look at the OpenID Connect. This is a special additional layer based on ALF2, and it's more of a standard, and we're going to look how to use it with Quarkus today. And so let's first start the key clock. Key clock is a super all-in-one Swiss tool that you can use for authorization, and so we will run the Docker with the username and password admin, and we'll map the 8080 port to 8180 so that it will be different from the Quarkus. And yeah, let's start the Docker, and at the same time let's configure our key clock. So you can go to localhost 8180 for the admin panel, and go to the administration console here, and you can write just admin here to log in. And so we'll need to create a new realm. You can go to the master, just hover over the master and click on the add realm, and here we'll write a Quarkus as a name of the realm. From there, we'll need to create a few roles that will actually, let's create a client. So the clients, in this case, in a configure, clients is let's say clients on the service level that gonna use the authorization. In our case, is a let's say backend service. We'll call it backend service, and we're gonna use OpenID Connect. Save, nothing more here to do, so you can of course do your stuff when you if you're gonna use it in production. For now it's okay to use it as is, and let's create a few roles. So we'll have an admin role, so we'll have a situation where we have a user and an admin. So we'll have an admin role and a user like this. So yeah, so now we have two roles. We can go to users. Let's create a new user here. We'll call it, let's say, admin, right? Like this. And let's put him a credential. So we'll have, yeah, I'm writing the admin, so I can put the admin here. We remove the temporary mark. So we'll set a password, and let's give him available roles. So he'll be an admin and a user, and that's it. Let's create another user. So let's go to the users back. So we can add a user. Let's name him a user. So we'll have a user that's user. Yeah, so we can also put the email verified, but it's not required in this case. And let's put him a credentials as well, called user. It's not temporary. So yeah, so let's set the password, and yeah, role mapping will put a user, so he won't have an admin credentials. Let's actually check if I use the temporary credentials for this user. I might done it, so let's redo it just in case. So the password will be admin. Remove the temporary and set the password. Okay, so we're done with the setting of the key clock. So we have a Quarkus realm, we have a backend service client on the key clock administration level, and we have a user, two users, which is admin and user, and also the roles. Comparing, we have an admin and a user. Admin has two roles. So he's and user and the admin. The user only have a user attributes. So let's start. Let's create our project. So I have here a default settings, as always: Quarkus Maven plugin create, tech.now, OpenID Connect, and we have a OIDC, which is OpenID Connect in a shortcut, and REST easy JSON-B to output some data in a JSON. Let's create a project and open it in IntelliJ IDEA. Alright, so I opened an OpenID project, and you can see in Quarkus we have only new one new dependency, which is Quarkus for IDC. And let's go to the resources, and let's put few attributes that we have here, that I have here actually. So we'll need to have two additional attributes for the authentication to work. So we need to have an auth server URL and the client ID in this case, right? So now that we have it, let's create a new class called tech.now user resource, and so it will have a path, for example, users, right? So we'll have here a get method, which will go to the users, and so it will produce, of course, the media type application, type application JSON. And the only difference, actually, for this one, we'll have two different new attributes, which first one is roles allowed, as you can see here. And we can put here a few attributes, but in this case, we're only interested in users. So if you have a users attribute role, then this method will work. And also no cache. We'll put a no cache here to have a no cache. And so let's create the empty field for now, empty method, right? So public void, let's say get user, right? User info or something like this. So yeah, that's okay that we have a void here, but what we want to is to inject security. We can inject here a security identity, like this. And so let's return this identity, right? So why not? We can just return the identity itself like this, and it should work actually for now. Let's try it out. Let's go to the Postman firstly. I prepared this endpoint here, which goes to the, as a post method, it goes to the auth realms, our name of the realm, Quarkus protocol, and then OpenID connect, and then the token. So we're expecting to have the token. And the as a x www form URL encoded, we encode the body as this format. We have a username and password called user, and then the grant type password. So let's send it, and you can see that we have here access token. This is exactly what we are interested in. Just copy it over. I'll provide a few combinations how to get it later. So we have an access token right now, right? Let's create another method that will go to the HTTP localhost 8080 and then users. So here we'll need to add another header called authorization, and then bearer and token itself, right? So we'll have it here, and then we have a get users, and I think it should work. So let's send it and see. Oh yeah, of course we need to start it out. So let's go to the our project folder and call maybe Quarkus dev. Let's start the project itself. It may download some of the libraries if needed, and after a while, okay, so it started. Let's try to query our users here, and you'll see that it's forbidden. Always double check all the strings that you're copying over. So in this case, roles allowed, we don't have a user's role. So as you can see in the roles, we have a user, which is not users. So just remove it if you are following me. So the roles allowed should be user. And let's open up Postman again, and you will see that we have, when I go get localhost 8080 users, you will see that we have a, with the authorization bearer token is this. And you'll see that we have all the information about the user. For example, it's anonymous false. We have a token itself here, the expiration time, who issued it, so we have a realm, and all the other stuff which we practically don't need. So we have a scope, email profile, preferred username user, and whatever you need. So yeah, we have this part. Let's create an admin endpoint as well. So let's say we have a admin produces, let's copy it over the produces to the header, to the start of the class. And so we'll have here different roles allowed. So it will be, in our case, it will be admin. And yeah, that's it. So public string get admin secret or something like this. So when we execute this method, we'll return I don't know, admin is God or something like this. So this method should work only if we have an admin credentials, which is easy to get. Let's go to the Postman, to our Auth3 Quarkus protocol OpenID token on the 8180 localhost, and we change the credentials from user to admin. So yeah, so let's send it again and get the token, different token. Let's copy it over, and here instead of the old bearer, we'll have this token, the different one. And oops, yeah. So now we can of course go to the users as well. You'll see that it's working, but I think it should show you that we have an admin. Yeah, so you have a roles, and you can see that we have an admin here and the user as well. So so we need to have a path as well here. So because it's so we have a user slot, and path will be admin. So we have a user/admin, as you can see here. Now it should work. Let's go to Postman, user/admin, and you can see that admin is got. So we can go back and use a user here, and let's get a token. And you will see that it won't work for the admin as a user. So now we have a token as a user, so we logged in as a user, right? Oops. And so now if we go to the same endpoint, which is user/admin, you will see that it's forbidden, which is exactly what we're expecting to have in such situation. Yeah, so this is super easy. You can see that it was done under, I don't know what it was, under 10 minutes if you know how to do it. And yeah, so don't forget to check the roles allowed if it's the same. I'll send you in the description of this video, there will be different parameters that you can use as well, or a link for them. One more thing that I forgot to mention actually is that you can use a default basic auth for the OICD if needed, of course. I never used it actually because it's, you know, you can do more beautiful authentication if needed, of course. But you can specify these 3 lines here, so that the application type is web app, and then the authenticate path will be all from the slash. You can specify maybe you want to have an admin, but for simple users, of course, you want to have this type, and then policy authenticated, of course. We can go to our localhost 8180 administration console. Okay, I need to log in again. And for our Quarkus, we'll need to specify a client in our client that we were using, backend service. We'll need to specify a redirect URL. If needed, of course, but we can, for example, specify our HTTP localhost 8080, right? Something like this. So this will be a web app, and we can save, and let's run our app. So just run a Maven Quarkus dev if you have stopped the app. If not, then we have the working solution. Let's go to the 8080, and you'll see that it prompts us to, you know, the localhost. So we can go to this admin, for example. We can log in, and you can see that the app is authenticated. And so you can see that we have accessed our 8080 root, even though we don't have permissions to do so. So you can secure your app. So you can try to use a new window, right, with the incognito. So we can log in again as an admin, and you'll see that we open up our main window, which was inaccessible before. And yeah, now you know how to use an OpenID Connect. Super easy, as you can see, with Quarkus. You don't need to, you see that we have only one class, and we don't need to set up anything actually. I mean, for the key cloak, of course, you need to set up, but it's not related to the backend. You can see that in backend we have only 2 lines, which is the server URL and the client ID. That's it. We don't need anything else more for it to work, and it's super useful. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.